Okay, Bobby says, I heard you mention press releases can be used for helping businesses, Google profiles, Google business profiles rank better. How so? Oh, this is a great question. Okay. Do I have time? Yeah, I got 27 minutes. All right, so here's a really good strategy, guys. I'll share this. A really good strategy for using press releases for Google business profiles. And it's funny because I actually just covered this today with one of my link building clients who we're going to work together to try to get some better maps results in a very stubborn part of the map. Anyway, there's a great way to do this is if you have, particular areas that a map is not ranking well in. If you publish a geo post or page on the money site targeting the top level term, I don't know how granular I'm going to get into this with you guys today. I'm going to keep it kind of a high level conceptual because the nitty gritty stuff is, again, I have to only cover that in the, paid setting, so to speak. But so what I'm saying is if you understand how to publish geo posts or pages on the money site properly, which in my opinion, don't just publish posts or pages anymore with just geographic data, because I found that is just not really producing the effect that it did 2 years ago. It has to tie back into the business. It has to be relevant to the business. But you can do that. Like, for example, if you look at a particular area of the search grid report or whatever, and there's a part on the map that you want to push into, as long as there's some green adjacent, like, I'm just using the green, orange, and red or whatever, like most GeoGrids. But as long as you have some green adjacent to it, you can typically push into or expand the map out a little bit further by identifying any of the cities, towns, census designated places, unincorporated communities, etc. Let me kind of back up for a minute. Whatever city it is that your Google business profile is in, go do a search. You might already know this, but go do a search. Like, what county is city, state in, right? And then you'll get the county that a lot of the times the city will be surrounded by a county or will have adjacent counties, etc. The area that you want to push into. So first identify what that area is, which county that area is in, is what I'm saying. Then go to the county Wikipedia page. And there's a communities link or whatever on the section. There's a community section. So in the left sidebar, you'll see communities, and almost every county Wikipedia page will have that. So you click on that and it'll jump down to that section on the page, and it will show you cities, towns, unincorporated communities, census designated places, etc. It'll give you a list of all of the named location entities within that county. Okay. So those are now you have a list of the named location entities that you can start to target with posts. That's where you go publish a geo post on the site. I use posts for that kind of stuff that you could use for a reason, but you could do it with a page. The point is, now you want to target your top level topic term plus the named location entity for the area that you want to push into. You understand? So now you've got the geo post that is top level topic term. So the broadest coverage the broadest keyword, or it's not a keyword, it's a topic that covers the most keywords, plus the city, state, or however the named entity is in Wikipedia. I've got to demonstrate this because otherwise it's just not going to make sense. I'm going to do a little bit of training here on this, guys. Hopefully we'll get to all the questions today, but let's just do Winchester, Virginia, which would be, and just in case you don't know, you can always go to the Wikipedia page and then find out the county too. So you'll see that right here, it'll say Frederick County. Okay. So this is Frederick County, Virginia, right? By the way, notice how it is spelled out, right? So what I'm saying here is if we go over here to the community section, and we'll scroll down here, we're going to see here's the towns, census designated places, and other unincorporated communities. You guys understand these are named location entities. Okay. So this is an example. Here's one called Kernstown. Okay. So it's Kernstown, Virginia. Sometimes you'll see, it'll say like whatever the town, the town name is, or what, in this case, it's not a town. It was a other unincorporated community, but sometimes it'll have that. And then it'll be the city and then the state. So for example, in Louisville, Kentucky, which is a major metro area. So if we do Louisville, KY, and you'll go to Wikipedia, and then there's the Louisville metro area. Might be here anyway. Louisville metropolitan area in this case, because Louisville was a city with a bunch of suburbs, and then they kind of expanded. Anyway, I don't know, you guys don't give a shit about that. I learned all this when I was optimizing some tree service stuff for this area. But the Louisville metropolitan area, again, if we come over here and we'll look at the counties, and then we look at municipalities right here, you can see that there's a ton of stuff here, right? These were all former named entities that then were kind of all combined into the Louisville metro area, if that makes sense. So I bring that up because whenever you we've talked about like Newburgh, Kentucky, for example, I've shared that a lot, but sometimes you'll see where it'll say, in this case, it's just Shively, Kentucky, but sometimes you'll see where it'll say like Newburgh, Louisville, Kentucky, if that makes sense. So it'll also append the city name to it. Anyway, to get back to what I was trying to say about this, Kernstown, Virginia is a unincorporated community in Frederick County, right? So then what I would do is go publish a post on the money site targeting tree service, or in my case, because the top level topic term is tree maintenance, I would have tree maintenance, Kernstown, Virginia, separator, then the brand name of the location. Does that make sense? Then after I publish that post, I'm going to go summarize that post using that SEO title as the first line of text in the Google Business post. So I summarize the geo post on the money site into 1,500 characters or less that will be turned into a Google Business post with the SEO title as the first line of text in the Google Business post. Then the CTA button, the Learn More button, links to that post on the money site. Publish the post. Right? So the Google Business post, wait for it to appear on the Google Business website, extract that inner page URL, convert it to the other format. I've talked about that before, but that's using the business.google.com subdomain instead of the business.site subdomain. It's much more powerful. It will index. I'll demonstrate this here in just a moment. But then once you get that inner page URL from the Google Business website and you convert it to the appropriate format, then you build links to that. And that's where press releases come in. Now you can hit that Google Post URL with a press release with the exact match, or what I call a target anchor. And you'll get 300, 400, 500 links with exact match or target anchors pointing to the Google Business post that has the Learn More button. That's the anchor text, Learn More, that links to the geo post on the money site. Does that make sense? Think about what you're doing there. You're pushing a whole bunch of links and referring domains with an exact match or target anchor text keyword to a Google Business post that's connected directly to the Google Business profile that ultimately pushes through to de-optimize the anchor text, it pushes through a generic or miscellaneous anchor, Learn More, to the geo post on the money site. You can see how you can start to influence the map that way, right? So how can I demonstrate this? Let me demonstrate this. I know I just paused my screen. Just give me a minute, guys. But Google posts don't index. Okay. Okay. Let me just show you. Hold on. Let me open up another one. Let's see if this one ranked. I know you guys aren't seeing my screen yet. Just give me a minute. I should have had this prepared beforehand, but anyway, well, that's the homepage, not the, try one more thing. Hold on, stand by. That's interesting. It looks like Google brought it back to the homepage. Anyway, long story short is, here is an example. If I look at Tree Service Kernstown, VA, we can see the Google Business website is ranking here. because that's the actual Google business site though, not the post. I have a specific post for that, which I did not follow the format as I just described. You should use the first line of text should be in the post, should be targeting the top level keyword. If that makes sense. So if we were to look at this site real quick, you guys are seeing my screen now. Yeah.
Yep, seeing your full desktop.
Okay, cool. So let me just show you. If I go into Winchester and we scroll down, we're going to find Kernstown in here somewhere. HIJK right there. Okay, so there's my GeoPost. Okay, there's my GeoPost. You see it's optimized for tree maintenance, Kernstown, VA. All right. Now, in retrospect, this should have been optimized as the named entity which is this. So tree service Kernstown, Virginia. It's a little bit tricky to do that with tags though, which is precisely why it's not that way. But this is the GeoPost here. So then going and publishing a Google business post. Now, again, this one was not formatted properly. I was doing some testing at this time, but the first line of text in this post should be the SEO type. Okay. And then you publish the post, you take this post URL and you convert that into the other format that uses the business.google.com domain, as opposed to the r subdomain.business.site. That's the stronger version of it. The metrics are much, much higher. Those indexed, they will stay indexed. And then once you do that, once you publish that, now you've got a link target. You can use press releases. Like I said, you could target tree service or tree maintenance or tree removal or any one of those terms that are synonymous with the topic tree maintenance, which, by the way, tree maintenance covers all of those: arborist, tree pruning, tree trimming, tree removal, tree felling. All of those keywords are associated with the topic term tree maintenance. So I can optimize with the tree maintenance anchor text to hit that post URL with a press release. And that pushes a ton of relevance into this post, but then it de-optimizes it through this learn more button, which is an anchor text that goes to that page. Does that make sense? So that's a great way to actually use press releases to push into different areas and to get better results. I'm not saying one and done is going to do it for you. It might not, but there's ways that you can do this even kind of more granularly, right? Like, for example, if we know that Kernstown probably doesn't, but we could potentially go in and look to see, is there specific neighborhoods within Kernstown, Virginia? That's a relatively small area, so it might not return anything, but we could always check for that, right? So like, go look for neighborhoods in Kernstown, VA, and just see. Neighborhoodscout.com is one of them. Now see, look, it's saying Winchester because Kernstown is a suburb of Winchester. So that makes sense. But you could always go in here and figure out, like, where is Kernstown in this? I'm not exactly sure. I'd have to go. I don't know this city well enough to know off the top of my head. But you could go in and figure out, are there any neighborhoods in here that are listed that are part of the Kernstown area of Winchester? If so, now you can use other Google business. You don't need any more GeoPosts on the site. You just need additional Google business posts where you target tree service in the neighborhood name, and then the CTA button then links from there to either the Kernstown page because it's a neighborhood within Kernstown, right? Or you link to the Google business post that's optimized for Kernstown with the other Google business post URLs. Does that make sense? So in other words, you create a silo within the Google business posts using the neighborhood keyword plus neighborhood name to build relevance up to the city or town or whatever page, the GeoPost essentially that you created. Hopefully that's clear. Anyway, that went a lot longer than I planned, but hopefully you guys got something good out of that. Just try it and see. Like I said, it's not always going to be successful on the first attempt, but you can definitely push relevance that way through maps.